What if I told you that your greatest weapon is already inside you, not your strength, not your talent, but your mind? The thoughts you think, the way you respond, the focus you hold, it all determines the life you build. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is mental mastery. This audiobook is not just motivation. It's a blueprint to take back control. Because once you master your mind, you become unstoppable. Chapter 1. Control your thoughts before they control you. Your mind is the control center of your entire life. Every action, every decision, every reaction, it all begins with a thought. And if you don't take control of your thoughts, they will take control of you. Thoughts can build you, or they can break you. That's why mastering your thinking is the first step to mastering your life. Most people don't realize how much power their thoughts hold. A single negative thought, if left unchecked, can multiply and grow into fear, doubt, or even self-sabotage. But the same is true for positive thoughts. When you feed your mind focus, strength, and belief, those grow too. The key is to choose which ones to water. You cannot stop every thought from entering your mind, but you can decide which ones get to stay. Just like you wouldn't let a stranger live in your house rent-free, you shouldn't let every thought live in your mind without permission. Filter what stays. Reject what weakens you. Keep what makes you stronger. The mind is like a muscle. The more you train it to think clearly and powerfully, the stronger it becomes. But if you leave it untrained, it will run wild. It will create fear where there is none. It will exaggerate problems. It will convince you to quit before you've even begun. That's why mental discipline matters. When your thoughts spiral, pause and challenge them. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this useful? Is this helping me grow? You'll be surprised how many negative thoughts fall apart when you shine light on them. Doubt thrives in darkness. But when questioned, most of it disappears. You don't rise by luck. You rise by mastering what happens inside your head. Success starts in the mind long before it shows up in your life. When you learn to control your inner world, your outer world begins to shift with it. Many people lose battles that never even happened in real life, only in their mind. They overthink, they imagine failure, they replay mistakes, they talk themselves out of progress. But you don't have to be one of them. You can break that cycle. You can take your thoughts back. The voice in your head should not be your enemy. It should be your coach, your ally, your guide. And if it's not, you must retrain it. You must replace self-doubt with self-respect. Replace fear with purpose. Replace confusion with clarity. Every time you control your thoughts, you take your power back. You stop being a slave to mood swings, emotions, and outside opinions. You start living with intention instead of reaction. That's the difference between drifting and leading. Don't wait for peace to find you. Create it by mastering your thinking. Don't wait for clarity to magically appear. Make it by focusing your thoughts. Don't wait for confidence to show up. Build it by speaking truth to your mind every single day. Chapter 2. Your mindset is the foundation of your future. Everything you build in life rests on your mindset. Your success, your habits, your relationships, your future, they're all shaped by how you think. Your mindset is like the foundation of a house. If it's strong, the rest of your life can stand tall, even during storms. But if it's weak, even the best dreams will eventually crumble. People often focus on the outside, money, status, goals. But none of that lasts without the right mindset. Because when challenges hit, and they always do, It's not your skills or resources that save you first. It's your mindset. That's what decides whether you push forward or give up. A positive mindset doesn't mean you ignore problems. It means you face them with a belief that you can overcome. It means you walk into every situation with focus, not fear. It means you speak life into your goals, even when they feel far away. If you believe you're stuck, you'll act stuck. If you believe you're capable, you'll act capable. Your actions are a mirror of your beliefs, and your beliefs are built by your mindset. That's why you must guard it and build it daily. Your mindset isn't fixed. It's not something you're born with and can't change. You can train your mind just like a muscle. You can shift from doubt to confidence, from fear to discipline, from weakness to strength. It starts with how you think. Every morning you get a chance to reset your mindset. You can decide how you show up to the day, reactive or focused, distracted or driven. Those small daily choices become the bricks that build your future. The truth is, success begins long before the results show up. It begins the moment you decide to think like someone who won't quit. Someone who sees opportunity where others see obstacles. Someone who's already growing while others are still waiting for perfect conditions. A strong mindset means you don't panic when things go wrong. You adapt, you adjust, you focus on solutions. You stay calm when others lose control. That stability becomes your power. Most people wait for life to improve before they shift their mindset. But real winners do the opposite. They shift their mindset first, and life follows. That's how you create change instead of waiting for it. Your future doesn't depend on luck. It depends on your inner attitude. If you carry a weak mindset into a big opportunity, you'll ruin it. But if you bring a powerful mindset into any moment, even small doors can lead to massive results. Chapter 3. Train your mind to see challenges as fuel. Challenges are not roadblocks, they're fuel. They're not signs that you should stop. They're signs that you're growing. But to rise in life, you must train your mind to see struggles differently. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" Your mindset decides how you interpret pain. Some people see problems and shut down. Others see problems and level up. The only difference is how they think. You can train your mind to see difficulty as a reason to fight harder, not to give up. Every challenge you face is a chance to become more, a chance to build grit, a chance to develop strength you didn't even know you had. But you won't see that if your mind sees challenges as punishment instead of preparation. Hard times don't break you. They reveal you. They show you where your weaknesses are. They show you what needs to grow. If you let them, they'll shape you into someone who's not just successful, but unshakable. Your growth lives on the other side of resistance. Just like muscles grow by lifting heavy weights, your mindset grows by carrying hard challenges. No pressure, no progress. No struggle, no strength. The most successful people didn't avoid problems. They learned how to think through them. They trained their minds to look at every setback as fuel, every rejection as redirection, every delay as development. When you face a challenge, your first thought should be, "Good, this is training." Because every battle makes you sharper. Every difficulty forces you to focus. Every test prepares you for the next level. You can't choose what challenges life gives you, but you can choose how to respond. And when you choose to use struggle as fuel, you start winning from the inside out. You stop waiting for easy. You get stronger instead. The truth is, most people avoid discomfort, and that's why they stay stuck. But if you run toward discomfort with the right mindset, you'll find the growth they never will. You'll rise while others retreat. Challenges will never go away, but your relationship with them can change. You can stop fearing them. You can start welcoming them, because each one holds a hidden gift, if your mind is strong enough to unwrap it. Chapter 4. Discipline begins in the mind, not in action. Discipline is not something that starts in your hands or in your habits. It starts in your mind. Before you ever take action, your mind has already decided whether you'll stay focused or fall off track. That's why mastering your mind is the foundation of mastering your discipline. People think discipline is about doing hard things. But the real work begins long before the action. It begins with the thoughts you allow, the decisions you reinforce, and the beliefs you choose to hold on to when things get difficult. When your mind is undisciplined, your actions follow. You make excuses, you delay goals, you let feelings override decisions. But when your mind is trained to stay firm, your actions become consistent, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline isn't about motivation. It's about mental commitment. Motivation comes and goes, but a disciplined mind shows up no matter what. It doesn't negotiate with laziness. It doesn't argue with fear. It simply does what needs to be done. Before you break a promise to yourself in action, you've already broken it in thought. That's why your self-talk matters. What you say to yourself when no one is listening will determine whether you show up strong or stay stuck. A disciplined mind is a focused mind. It knows what matters and what doesn't. It's not swayed by distractions, temptations, or temporary emotions. It stays locked on the goal, and that mental grip creates unstoppable momentum. If your mind is messy, your life will be too. But if your mind is organized, committed, and intentional, your actions will reflect that. The more order you build inside, the more progress you'll create outside. When you train your mind to follow through, you stop needing perfect conditions. You stop waiting for the right time. You stop leaning on feelings. Discipline becomes your default because you've programmed your thinking to honor your word. A strong mind doesn't seek comfort. It seeks growth. And growth requires sacrifice. When your mind is focused on long-term gains instead of short-term pleasure, you begin to act differently, think differently, and live differently. Most people wait for discipline to show up. But the truth is, discipline is built, not found. And it's built by making small, tough decisions in the mind over and over again until they become who you are. Your mindset tells your body what to do. If you say, "I don't skip workouts," your body follows. If you say, "I handle problems calmly," your actions match. But if your mind says, "I'll try," you're already halfway to quitting. Start by winning mental battles before they become physical ones. Don't wait until you're face to face with a temptation. Rehearse the response in your mind. Strengthen the mental muscle first, so your actions follow automatically. Every time you push past resistance, you're teaching your mind to lead. You're proving that your mind is the boss, not your feelings, not your environment, and definitely not your excuses. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And consistency comes from a decision made in the mind that says, "I keep going, no matter what." That single decision, repeated daily, becomes your greatest weapon. You don't need more motivation. You need more clarity and commitment. When your mind is clear about what matters and committed to following through, discipline flows naturally. Confusion kills consistency, but clarity fuels it. A disciplined mind is a weapon. It protects your time. It defends your energy. It keeps you from being controlled by moods or distractions. It locks in your focus and drives your actions with purpose. You can build a strong body, a successful business, or a peaceful life. But none of that will last without a disciplined mind behind it. Mindset is the engine. Without it, even the best plans fall apart. Stop trying to force discipline through willpower alone. Start developing it through mindset training. Feed your mind with focus. Cut out mental clutter. Speak powerful truths. Build mental rituals. That's where lasting discipline begins. The life you want is possible, but only if your mind becomes strong enough to carry it. Discipline in the mind gives birth to discipline in your behavior, and discipline in your behavior builds the future you've been dreaming of. Train your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Every success, every transformation, every win you want starts in one place: your thoughts. Build discipline there, and your actions will never fall behind. Chapter 5. Silence the inner critic. Speak power over yourself. There's a voice inside you that doubts you. It whispers lies when you're tired and screams louder when you're trying to rise. That voice isn't truth. It's fear in disguise. And if you don't silence it, it will hold you back from everything you were born to become. Your inner critic knows your weaknesses. It remembers every failure, every moment of shame, and uses them as weapons. But it forgets your victories. It overlooks your strength. That's why you must talk back with facts, with power, with truth. The mind will believe whatever it hears most often. If your inner voice keeps repeating, "You're not enough," soon your actions will follow. But the moment you replace those lies with strength, your life starts to change. Silencing the inner critic doesn't mean pretending you're perfect. It means refusing to let your flaws define you. It means acknowledging your growth, not just your gaps. It means reminding yourself who you are, even when doubt tries to erase it. Most people live under the rule of a voice that isn't real. A voice formed by past pain, toxic words, and old fears. But you don't have to obey it anymore. You can break that voice's power by choosing your own. You have the authority to rewire your thoughts, not with fake confidence, but with chosen truth. Truth like, "I am capable. I am evolving. I am worthy of the life I'm building." Say it often. Say it until your mind starts to believe again. Every time you speak against your own greatness, you build a cage around your potential. But every time you speak power over yourself, you set your future free. Words build prisons, or they build paths. If someone spoke to your best friend the way your inner critic speaks to you, would you stay silent? Then why tolerate it when it's directed at you? You don't need permission to speak kindly to yourself. You just need intention. You are not weak for needing encouragement. You are human, but that encouragement must start within. Don't wait for someone else to lift you. Become the voice that lifts yourself. The critic will never disappear completely, but its power fades every time you refuse to listen. The more you speak power over yourself, the quieter that voice becomes, until one day it's just background noise. There is strength in self-talk, real strength. The words you repeat in your mind become the beliefs you live by. So speak like your future depends on it, because it does. The voice in your head should sound like a coach, not a bully. A voice that corrects, but also empowers. One that challenges, but never crushes. You can build that voice. But it takes daily effort and fierce love for yourself. When you talk to yourself, choose language that builds. Replace "I can't" with "I will." Replace "I'm failing" with "I'm learning." Replace "this is too hard" with "this is shaping me." Speak like someone who believes in your own becoming. Some wounds were planted by other people's words, parents, teachers, critics, but you're not their voice. You're your own. And it's time to use that voice to rewrite every story they tried to write over you. When self-doubt shows up, don't fight it with fear. Fight it with truth. List your progress. Remember your strength. Say out loud what you've overcome. You've already won battles your inner critic pretends never happened. No one hears your inner voice but you. But it affects everything you do. How you walk into a room, how you face a challenge, how you treat your dreams. So make that voice an ally, not an enemy. You don't need permission to change your self-talk. You don't need approval to believe in yourself. Your voice is yours. Own it, shape it. Speak like someone who's headed somewhere great, because you are. There will be days when the critic comes back stronger, days when doubt feels louder than belief. That's when it matters most to speak power, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You are not what your inner critic says. You are what you choose to believe. And today, you can choose belief that builds, words that restore, and truth that sets your future in motion. Speak to yourself like someone you love, not just when you win, but when you're broken. Speak gently, speak honestly, speak with fire. You are listening, and what you hear becomes who you become. You'll never rise higher than your self-talk allows. So lift your voice, correct the critic, declare strength. Speak like someone who's not only going to survive, but thrive. The world is already loud with judgment. Don't let your inner world be the same. Make your mind a place of peace. Make your words a place of power. Make your voice the beginning of every victory. Chapter 6. Reprogram daily habits that shape mental strength. Mental strength doesn't appear overnight. It's built brick by brick, day by day, through consistent habits. If you want to rewire your thinking, you must first rewire what you do each day when no one's watching. Your mind listens to your habits. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, you build trust. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you reinforce power. Habits teach your brain what matters. If you wake up every day and scroll your phone before you even move your body or breathe with intention, you're training your brain to react, not lead. But if you start your day with purpose, your mind begins to obey clarity. Mental toughness is a result of consistent choices that challenge your comfort. Choosing the workout, choosing silence instead of reaction, choosing one more rep when quitting feels easier. These become the roots of strength. Habits don't just shape your day, they shape your identity. The person you are becoming is built on the tiny actions you repeat, even when they feel too small to matter. But they do matter. They're everything. Start small. A strong mind isn't formed by grand changes, but by micro-decisions. 5 more minutes of focus, 1 more disciplined action, a single positive thought repeated until it becomes belief. What you feed your mind becomes your future. If you constantly consume chaos, negativity, and noise, your inner world will reflect it. But if you fill your life with learning, reflection, and positive repetition, you become grounded. Journaling your thoughts, wins, and growth helps declutter your mind. It gives clarity to your patterns and control over your progress. Writing is a habit that strengthens your awareness, and awareness builds power. Daily affirmations are not just feel-good quotes. They are commands to your subconscious. When repeated with belief, they begin to form new thought loops, replacing old limitations with new possibilities. Discipline is a muscle, and daily habits are the reps. You can't expect to be strong in crisis if you're undisciplined in peace. Daily effort in calm times prepares your mind to stay sharp when storms come. Reprogramming doesn't happen through information alone. It happens through repetition. You can't just know what to do. You must do it consistently until your mind automatically chooses strength over softness. Habits are your silent teachers. They don't speak, but they shape. They are constantly reinforcing your standards. If your habits are sloppy, your mindset will be too. Precision breeds pride. Waking up early isn't about the time. It's about training your mind to lead, not follow. It's about starting the day with intention rather than reaction. It tells your mind, I'm in control. Daily reflection sharpens mental strength. Taking just 10 minutes to ask yourself, did I grow today? Did I react or respond? Did I honor my standards? Builds self-awareness, and self-awareness leads to change. Avoiding unnecessary drama is also a habit. Protecting your peace, choosing silence over conflict, and walking away from nonsense builds a mind that's stable, not scattered. That's real power. Reading daily rewires your mental language. It introduces you to new patterns, perspectives, and problem-solving tools. The more you expose your mind to strong ideas, the more your own thoughts sharpen. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It's a habit that shifts your perspective from lack to power. When practiced daily, it reprograms your brain to spot what's working instead of obsessing over what's missing. Start your mornings with structure. End your nights with reflection. Give your mind boundaries. Don't let it be led by chaos. Mental strength is nurtured in daily order, not occasional motivation. Every time you follow through on a daily promise, you teach your brain that your word matters. That self-respect deepens your confidence, and that quiet self-respect becomes loud results over time. Your habits are the proof of what you believe. If you believe in your future, your habits will reflect discipline. If you doubt your worth, your habits will reflect avoidance. Want to change your mindset? Start with your actions. Surround yourself with habits that reinforce power. Protect your mornings. Guard your focus. Feed your energy. Strengthen your recovery. Your environment, built by your habits, becomes your mental armor. A strong mind is not born. It's earned. Through sweat, silence, sacrifice, and systems. Every day you have the chance to reprogram your thinking by choosing habits that build the life you say you want. Changing your life doesn't require dramatic shifts overnight. It requires small daily wins. When you stack enough of those wins, they transform your mindset. Over time, the mind stops resisting growth and starts craving it. You don't rise by inspiration alone. You rise by strategy. Mental strength becomes easier when your habits eliminate decision fatigue. When you decide once and repeat daily, your mind learns to act without delay. Good habits protect your focus. They create a rhythm where discipline flows naturally. You don't need to fight distractions every hour when your habits already shut the door on them before they enter. Stop negotiating with habits that no longer serve you. The longer you delay cutting out what weakens you, the harder it becomes to rebuild strength. Let go of routines that drain you and make space for ones that build you. Routines aren't boring, they're powerful. When you structure your day with discipline, your creativity thrives, your stress drops, and your energy sharpens. A strong routine makes your mind feel safe, focused, and clear. One powerful habit is to limit your decisions. Eat the same breakfast. Wear a similar outfit. Save your decision-making power for where it really matters: your growth, your progress, your future. A strong habit system makes discipline automatic. It turns hard choices into daily defaults. When your environment supports your goals, you don't have to fight yourself every day. Your surroundings push you forward. Reset your mind by resetting your routines. If you wake up feeling behind, unmotivated or scattered, don't blame your mindset alone. Look at your habits, fix the system, and the mindset will follow. Your phone habits matter more than you think. Reaching for distractions the moment you feel discomfort weakens your mind. But sitting in that discomfort, breathing through it, builds your mental edge. Every positive habit is a message to your future self. I've got your back. You're building protection, stability, and strength. Your daily decisions echo forward into the life you haven't lived yet. Avoid relying on motivation. Build habits that make action the default. The best athletes, leaders, and creators don't wait to feel ready. They trust their routines. Their minds follow the structure they've already built. Don't underestimate recovery as a habit. A strong mind is not built on hustle alone. It's also shaped by how well you rest, reflect, and reset. Recovery is not weakness. It's a weapon if used with intention. Time blocking is a habit that trains your mind to focus with precision. Assign your time before the world steals it. When your hours have a purpose, your thoughts do too. End your day with discipline. How you finish is as important as how you start. Reflect. Prepare. Cut the noise. Protect your rest. Your tomorrow begins with the way you close today. A mental warm-up is just as important as a physical one. Prime your focus before you work. Breathe. Visualize. Decide how you will think. Show your mind who's in charge before the day tries to distract you. Reduce the number of times you touch the same task. Handle it once, finish it, and move on. Habits that train your brain to complete, not delay, build mental clarity and reduce stress over time. Track your progress daily, even in small ways. A checked box, a journal entry, a completed task. Visible proof of growth rewires your brain to see effort as worthwhile. And that feeling keeps you going. Practice saying no. It's a habit that builds boundaries, and boundaries protect mental energy. Every time you say no to what doesn't matter, you're saying yes to your strength, your vision, your discipline. Practice keeping small promises to yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Drink the water. Read the page. These small victories create a pattern of self-respect your mind begins to rely on. Start your day on offense, not defense. If you begin by reacting to messages, alerts, and noise, your mind becomes scattered. But if you begin with direction, your thoughts align with intention. Repeat your identity out loud. I am disciplined. I am focused. I am consistent. Your habits are shaped by your identity, and your identity is shaped by what you repeat. Speak what you want to become until it becomes real. Reprogramming your mind isn't about perfection, it's about repetition. Your habits are the software. Install the right ones, update them often, and over time, they'll run your life with precision and power. Chapter 7. Master your emotions without ignoring them. You cannot master your life until you learn to master your emotions. But emotional mastery doesn't mean hiding how you feel. It means learning how to respond instead of react. It means giving your feelings space, but not control. Emotions are signals, not instructions. They are messengers, not rulers. Anger, sadness, fear, they all have something to teach you. But that doesn't mean they should lead your decisions or define your identity. When you ignore your emotions, they don't go away. They build up. buried emotions resurface in your tone, your habits, your choices. Mastery begins when you stop running from them and start listening without letting them lead. Feeling something deeply doesn't make you weak. In fact, awareness of your emotions gives you power. When you can name what you feel, you can better direct your actions. What you don't name will silently control you. A strong mind doesn't silence emotion. It sits with it, studies it, and moves through it. Emotional strength is choosing reflection over reaction, understanding over assumption, and patience over impulse. Your first emotion is not always your truest emotion. The first is often reactive, but beneath it lies something deeper: fear, pain, insecurity. Mastery means digging below the surface, not acting on the first wave. You can feel hurt and still act with wisdom. You can feel angry and still speak with calm. You can feel overwhelmed and still move with clarity. Emotions may visit, but they don't have to take control of the steering wheel. People often confuse numbness with strength. But emotional numbness is not power, it's protection. Real power comes from feeling everything fully and still choosing your values over your urges. Don't fight your emotions. Study them. Ask, why am I feeling this? What thought led to this? What do I need right now? That kind of inner questioning builds emotional intelligence that lasts a lifetime. Your emotions don't need to be fixed. They need to be understood. Not every bad mood is a crisis. Not every tear means you're broken. Sometimes you're simply human. And that's okay. The strongest people aren't the ones who feel nothing. They're the ones who feel deeply and choose discipline over drama. They understand that power is not in controlling feelings, but in controlling responses. Breathe before you speak. Pause before you act. Create space between feeling and reaction. That small gap is where emotional mastery is built, in the silence between impulse and intention. Don't let one emotion dominate your entire day. A moment of frustration doesn't deserve 24 hours of negative thinking. Emotional mastery means learning to reset and choosing again with clarity. You will not always feel strong, but the strength is in how you carry yourself during weakness. Feel what you need to feel, but don't let it dictate your story. You are more than your current mood. Emotional control is not suppression. It's strategy. It's giving yourself permission to feel, while giving yourself discipline to act with purpose. Both can exist together: feeling and focus, emotion and direction. Practice observing your emotions without judgment. I feel anxious is better than I am anxious. That small shift creates space. It reminds you that emotions are experiences, not identities. Your body often carries emotions your mind hasn't processed. Tension, fatigue, restlessness, they are signals too. Listen to them. Treat rest, reflection, and movement as emotional tools, not luxuries. Healthy expression is part of emotional mastery. Talk to someone you trust. Write it out. Move your body. Don't let emotions stay stuck inside. Motion and expression help emotions pass through you instead of getting trapped. Don't expect permanent emotional stability. Life is fluid. So are your feelings. Mastery isn't about staying calm 100% of the time. It's about returning to calm faster, with wisdom and grace. The world will trigger your emotions constantly. You can't control that, but you can control your preparation. A mind trained to pause, reflect, and stay centered is more powerful than any emotional outburst. Practice gratitude, especially when emotions run high. It doesn't erase pain, but it grounds you. It brings perspective. It reminds your mind to focus on what's still right when everything feels wrong. Mastering emotions doesn't mean ignoring your heart. It means aligning it with your mind. It means choosing wholeness over chaos, power over panic. It means feeling fully and still choosing your future with strength. You are not weak because you feel. You are strong because you face what you feel without running. Emotional strength is not about never breaking. It's about learning how to bend without snapping. Mastery comes from recognizing patterns. When you feel the same emotional reaction to similar situations, pause. What's the deeper belief behind that feeling? Understanding the root creates power over the response. Don't let temporary emotions create permanent damage. One moment of anger, if left unchecked, can ruin something you've built for years. Wisdom is stepping back, even when emotion demands you step in. Learn to sit in stillness when emotions rise. You don't need to react instantly. Silence creates room for truth to emerge. Stillness teaches the mind that it doesn't need to panic. It just needs to breathe and observe. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are your teachers. They reveal what you care about, what you fear, what still hurts. The goal is not to kill the emotion, but to understand its message and grow beyond it. The way you treat yourself during emotional lows sets the tone for your healing. Speak with patience, not punishment. Encourage your own growth the way you would encourage someone you love through pain. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean you always feel okay. It means you don't let how you feel control who you are. You keep showing up. You stay grounded. You move with intention. You can feel disappointment without falling into despair. You can feel anxiety without losing your focus. Emotions may rise, but they don't need to flood your identity. That boundary is your strength. When sadness speaks, don't silence it with distractions. Sit with it. Let it pass through. Then rise with a deeper understanding of yourself. Avoiding pain only delays the strength waiting on the other side of it. Let emotions be guests, not landlords. Let them visit, but don't let them own space in your decisions. Acknowledge them, thank them for their signal, and choose your next move from clarity, not chaos. A clear mind begins with emotional honesty. Pretending you're okay when you're not only deepens the pressure. Be real with yourself. Be gentle, but never stop moving forward with purpose. Don't use emotion as an excuse to avoid responsibility. Feelings are valid, but they're not a permission slip to neglect discipline. Even on emotional days, choose action aligned with your values. The more you practice emotional control, the easier it becomes. It may feel hard at first, the pause, the reflection, the restraint. But each time you succeed, you teach your brain to stay composed. Strong people cry too. They break. They fall apart. But what makes them strong is how they recover, how they rebuild, how they refuse to let the breakdown be the end of the story. Emotional resilience is built through practice, not perfection. You will get it wrong sometimes. You will react. But if you return to awareness quickly, you've already won a small internal victory. No one sees the quiet battles you fight with your emotions. But those battles are where strength is born. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you grow stronger, even if the world never applauds you. Train your mind to delay emotional reactions. A single breath, a short walk, a moment of silence. These are tools, weapons, that give you space to respond from strength, not from stress. Boundaries protect your emotions, not just from others, but from your own patterns. Create space where you can reflect, think, and center yourself. Boundaries aren't walls, they're shields. Be mindful of emotional triggers. Know what pulls you out of peace and prepare for it. Awareness doesn't remove the emotion, but it gives you a chance to choose differently the next time it appears. Practice replacing emotional exaggeration with truth. This always happens becomes, this happened once, and I can learn from it. Replace extremes with clarity, and clarity becomes emotional control. Forgive yourself for past emotional mistakes. You're learning. You're evolving. Growth is messy, and emotional mastery is not a straight line. Be proud of every step that brings you closer to control. You were not meant to be ruled by emotions. You were meant to rise above them, not by force, but by understanding. Mastery comes not from shutting emotion down, but by elevating your response beyond it. Chapter 8. Focus is a weapon. Aim it with purpose. Your focus is one of the most powerful tools you own. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And what you consistently give energy to becomes your reality. That's why you must guard your focus like your future depends on it, because it does. We live in a world fighting for your attention every second. Notifications, noise, opinions, distractions, all trying to steal your mind. But true strength is the ability to lock in on what matters and shut out what doesn't. Focus is not just about what you look at. It's also about what you choose to ignore. If you don't say no to the unimportant, you'll never have time or energy left for the meaningful. Discipline your attention. A scattered mind leads to scattered results. The more you multitask, the less you master. Focused effort creates deep work. Deep work creates real change. Surface-level attention creates surface-level progress. Every goal requires a different version of you, and that version can't exist without sharp focus. You can't become who you're meant to be while being distracted by everything around you. Decide what deserves your attention. Clarity makes focus easier. If you don't know what you want, you'll chase everything and catch nothing. But when your vision is clear, distractions lose their power. You start moving with direction instead of noise. Focus is a skill, not a personality trait. You build it like muscle. Start small. Time blocks, phone limits, intentional routines. Each step you take trains your brain to stay on course. The difference between winners and wishers is focus. Winners keep showing up to the same priorities day after day. They're not always more talented, they're just more focused, more locked in, more intentional. Protect your mornings. How you start your day determines how your mind behaves. Don't let chaos dictate your direction. Begin with focus, and that energy will follow you throughout everything else. Your focus reveals your priorities. If you say success matters, but spend hours scrolling, your actions expose your truth. If you say growth matters but stay distracted, your habits reveal your direction. Mental clarity improves emotional control. When you focus on what truly matters, your mind becomes less reactive and more grounded. You stop being controlled by every thought and start choosing your thinking. Start seeing focus as a form of self-respect. Giving your best energy to what builds you is not just productive, it's honorable. It's how you show up fully for your dreams, your goals, and your future self. Don't wait to feel ready to focus. The more distracted you are, the more your mind will resist structure. But when you push through that resistance and focus anyway, you create discipline that doesn't depend on mood. Interruptions aren't just time wasters, they're dream killers. Every time you allow distractions to break your flow, you weaken your results. Build an environment where your focus can breathe and grow. Energy flows where intention goes. If your mind wanders all day, so will your progress. But if you lock in, even for a few hours, you'll create more in one day than most do in a week of distracted effort. Focus isn't about being busy. It's about being aligned. You can do 10 things in a day and make no progress. Or you can focus on one powerful task and move your entire life forward. Quality beats quantity. You can't focus on the future if you're always focused on the past. Let go of the distractions of yesterday. Forgive what you must. Release what you can't change. Free your mind so it can face forward again. Learn to focus on what you can control. You can't change people. You can't change the world in one day. But you can change your habits. You can focus your energy. That's where real power begins. The more you practice focus, the more peace you feel. Not because life gets easier, but because your mind stops chasing everything. Focus quiets the chaos. It helps you move with strength, not stress. Success doesn't require speed. It requires focus over time. Daily attention to the right things compounds. It multiplies. It builds. It creates results that can't be faked or fast-tracked. There will always be noise, always be options, always be someone doing something better. But your power lies in staying locked on your path, focused, steady, unmoved by what's not meant for you. Train your mind like a warrior. Use focus like a sword. Cut through the distractions. Slice away what weakens you. And aim your attention with purpose, because your life will follow wherever you point it. Every distraction you conquer sharpens your mind. Every moment you choose concentration over chaos makes your thinking more precise. Like a blade that gets sharper with each strike, your focus grows stronger with use. Not everything deserves your focus. Some things only exist to steal your time and drain your energy. The stronger your vision, the easier it becomes to recognize what to avoid. Discernment is a part of focus. Focus isn't just about work, it's about life. Being fully present in a conversation, listening without reaching for your phone, giving your time fully to the moment you're in. That's a rare kind of power in today's world. When you focus, you multiply your effort. 10 distracted hours cannot compete with 2 focused ones. The quality of your attention matters more than the length of your effort. Deep focus creates deep results. Learn to train your attention like an athlete trains their body. Short sprints of deep focus, breaks for recovery, then back into intensity. This rhythm builds a mind that doesn't burn out. It builds up. Every focused action is a vote for the future you want. Each time you push away a distraction, you cast a vote for discipline, for progress, for purpose. Eventually, those votes shape your identity. A cluttered space often reflects a cluttered mind. Clean your environment, organize your priorities, make space for focus to grow. The mind concentrates best in clean surroundings. Focus makes your thoughts more powerful. Instead of being pulled in 10 directions, your energy becomes laser-like. One aim, one mission. That's how breakthroughs happen, when your whole mind moves in one direction. Stop chasing everything. Chase what matters. Chase what grows you. Chase what aligns with your values. Focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing what counts with everything you've got. Focus requires boundaries. You can't say yes to everything and expect to have clarity. Protect your time. Protect your peace. Not because you're rude, but because you're committed. The more you train focus, the less reactive you become. You're not thrown off by every distraction, drama, or detour. You stay centered. And that calm center becomes your competitive edge. Don't let your mind wander into fear, overthinking, or comparison. Those are dead zones for focus. Bring your thoughts back to the present. The mission, the next step. That's where your power is. Unfocused days become unfocused weeks, then unfocused months. Don't let drift become your default. Reclaim your mind daily. Set your focus like an anchor and let it hold you steady through noise. The greatest performers aren't the busiest. They're the most focused. They choose one target and go all in. While others scatter their energy, they lock in. And that's why they grow faster, deeper, stronger. If your focus is weak, your goals will feel far away. But when your attention sharpens, goals become tasks, and tasks become wins. Step by step, clarity turns into progress. Focus eliminates excuses. When you're locked in, you stop blaming time, people, or problems. You just move forward. You get things done. You prove that discipline beats distraction every time. Every time you check your phone without reason, you train your brain to crave interruption. Every time you resist it, you train your brain to stay centered. Choose what kind of mind you want to build. Multitasking is a myth. You're not doing more. You're doing everything worse. Focus on one thing, do it well, finish it, then move. That's how efficiency and excellence grow side by side. Silence can be your greatest ally. Turn off the noise. Sit with your thoughts. Let clarity rise. In the quiet, your focus sharpens. In the stillness, direction becomes clearer. Don't confuse movement with progress. Being busy doesn't mean you're moving forward. You can run in circles. Focus tells you where to go and keeps you from running in the wrong direction. A focused mind is hard to manipulate. It doesn't chase trends. It doesn't follow the crowd. It follows its mission. That kind of clarity protects you from being pulled into lives that aren't meant for you. When you sharpen your focus, your world gets simpler. The noise fades. The distractions shrink. What matters most stands out. And that's where success begins, with a mind that knows where it's going. Chapter 9. Build mental endurance through repetition. Mental endurance isn't built in a day. It's built in the repetition of hard days. Not when it's easy, not when you feel like it, but when you keep showing up despite everything telling you to stop. Repetition is how the brain learns strength. The more you do something, the less your mind resists it. What once felt impossible becomes automatic, not because it got easier, but because you got stronger. Your mind adapts to what you feed it. If you repeatedly quit, it learns quitting. If you repeatedly push through, it learns resilience. The message you send through repetition becomes your mental identity. Growth comes through discomfort, and discomfort is met in repetition. Doing the work when you're tired, saying no to distractions over and over, showing up for your goals again and again until it becomes who you are. You don't need to feel inspired to repeat the right habits. You just need to do them. Inspiration fades, emotion shifts. But repetition builds rhythm, and rhythm builds momentum. Your mind craves patterns. If you feed it strong ones, it will support your growth. If you feed it weak ones, it will sabotage your progress. Choose which thoughts and actions you want to make automatic. Every time you repeat a good decision, you cast a vote for discipline. That vote becomes a habit. That habit becomes your mindset. And that mindset becomes the foundation of everything you create. Mental toughness is doing the same simple thing, even when it's boring. Champions aren't made by doing what's exciting. They're built by doing what works until it produces results that others only dream of. Repetition rewires your brain. It changes your instincts. It turns "I can't" into "I've done this before." That familiarity becomes confidence, and confidence leads to consistency under pressure. Don't underestimate the power of doing something well 1,000 times. While others look for shortcuts, you're building strength they can't see. silent, steady, and unstoppable. If you want to master anything, your emotions, your craft, your habits, repeat it. Practice with intention. Refine through effort. Mental endurance is built through muscle memory of the mind. Repetition removes resistance. The first time it's hard. The second, it's still a fight. But the 10th, it's smoother. The 50th, it's normal. The 100th, it's automatic. That's how winners are made. The reason most people don't reach their goals isn't lack of ability. It's lack of repetition. They start, stop, start again, then quit. But repetition rewards those who stay in motion. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Repeating small disciplines over time builds a mental edge, and that edge becomes your silent weapon when motivation disappears. A strong body is built through reps. A strong mind is no different. Repeating hard thoughts, habits, and choices under stress builds endurance that doesn't break under pressure. Train your mind to keep going when your emotions tell you to stop. Emotions are temporary. Repetition builds permanence. The mind learns to lead, and the heart eventually follows. Mental endurance shows up when no one's watching, when it's just you, your standards, and your will. Repetition turns discipline into a quiet force that drives you long after motivation is gone. If you only act when it feels good, you'll never last. But if you train through repetition, you'll act even when it's hard. And that kind of consistency builds a level of strength few ever reach. Every rep is a conversation with your future. Each time you show up, you're telling your future self, "I'm doing the work. I'm preparing for the life you deserve." That message compounds. Repetition builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you show up day after day, you prove you're dependable. That inner confidence becomes your foundation under pressure. You don't need intensity all the time. You need consistency over time. A few good days won't build endurance, but months of repeating the right actions. That builds unshakable strength. Mastery is boring. It's doing the same thing better than yesterday. It's improving through effort, not excitement. Repetition isn't glamorous, but it's the most powerful tool you have to build endurance that lasts. Mental endurance gives you the strength to keep going long after others quit. It's not about pushing once. It's about pushing again and again, no matter how long it takes for results to show. You don't grow stronger by doing something once. You grow by doing it so often that it becomes a part of who you are. Repetition doesn't just build ability. It builds identity. The mind becomes what it practices. If you keep quitting, your mind learns to fold. But if you keep showing up, your mind learns resilience. Whatever you repeat becomes your reflex. Repetition makes pressure familiar. At first it feels overwhelming, but the more you face it, the less it rattles you. Soon, pressure becomes your training ground, not your breaking point. The mind learns through patterns. Every repeated action becomes a signal. This is what we do now. Use that to your advantage. Train repetition into your strength, your clarity, your work ethic. Consistency builds credibility, not just with the world, but with yourself. The more consistently you show up, the more your brain trusts your word. That self-trust becomes inner stability. Don't chase perfection, chase practice. The more you repeat, the more refined you become. Progress isn't loud. It's hidden inside thousands of repeated choices no one else sees. You don't have to master everything today. Just master the next rep, the next task, the next hour. Keep your focus small and your discipline big. That's how mental endurance compounds. It's not about motivation anymore. It's about wiring your brain to follow through. Repetition is how you program persistence. You build a mind that doesn't ask if, only what's next. Endurance is built through boredom, through repeating the same steps when they're no longer exciting. Those who push through monotony are the ones who eventually dominate in silence. Repetition is how you stretch the limits of what's possible. What feels hard now becomes your warm-up later. You rise not by skipping steps, but by stepping up again and again. Every repetition trains your focus. It silences the chaos. It centers your thoughts. Focused repetition brings order to a noisy world. And with that order comes unshakable strength. Mental endurance is tested when no one cheers, when no one's watching, when the only reward is knowing you didn't break. That's where true power grows, deep in the quiet, through repetition. Repetition teaches the mind to lead with action, not emotion. You stop waiting to feel ready. You just start. You keep going. And soon, discipline becomes your default setting. Those who last the longest often aren't the fastest. They're the most consistent. The ones who built a habit so deep it became unshakable. They don't rely on hype. They rely on habit. Don't underestimate the power of a boring routine. The same small wins, stacked daily, create extraordinary results. Repetition is quiet, but its impact is loud in the long run. You can't fake consistency. You can't fake repetition. It exposes the real workers, the ones who grind when no one's looking, the ones who repeat their values, not just their goals. Mental endurance doesn't always look impressive. Sometimes it just looks like not quitting, like showing up again, like refusing to fall apart, even when nothing around you makes it easy. You're building a legacy, not just a moment. And that kind of legacy requires steady effort. Repetition that feels invisible today becomes the reason you're unshakable tomorrow. Every repeat strengthens your self-control. Every delay of comfort builds patience. Every habit reinforced is a brick in the fortress of your future self. When you repeat something long enough, it becomes your edge. Others might have talent, but few will match your consistency. That's your advantage, forged in repetition. There's nothing special about the process, until you repeat it enough to make it powerful. The secret isn't in the magic. The secret is in the discipline of doing it again and again. Chapter 10. Don't let temporary pain kill permanent dreams. Pain is real, but so is purpose. And if you let the pain of the moment decide your future, you'll trade everything you want for a little relief. Temporary emotions should never hold the pen to your permanent story. Every dream worth chasing will test you. It will stretch your limits. It will hurt some days. But that pain is not the end. It's the process. Let it shape you, not stop you. Pain tries to trick you into quitting. It whispers lies like, "This isn't worth it," or "You're not strong enough." But pain doesn't tell the truth. It only tells you where your growth begins. The most dangerous thing about pain is its timing. It shows up right before your breakthrough. Most people quit one step too early, not knowing that pain was the signal they were close to something great. When you feel pain, pause, but don't quit. Breathe, but don't back down. Remind yourself why you started. Because the version of you who had that dream still matters. Keep that fire alive. Short-term struggle is the tuition you pay for long-term success. The effort, the setbacks, the frustration, they're all investments in the person you're becoming. Don't withdraw before it compounds. You have to decide that your dream is bigger than your discomfort, that your purpose is worth more than your pain, that quitting may silence the noise, but it also silences your potential. Pain is part of the story, but it's not the whole book. You have more chapters to write. Don't let one hard page convince you to close the cover. Keep writing. Keep turning the pages. You will never regret pushing through. But you will always wonder what might have happened if you didn't quit. Let that thought fuel you when the pain feels heavy. The regret of quitting is always worse. If you surrender every time it hurts, you'll never build anything lasting. But if you rise through the pain, you'll build strength that can't be faked, and a life others only dream about. Pain means something is working, something is growing, something is being built. The discomfort is proof you're alive, you're moving, and you're chasing something that matters. You don't have to love the pain, you just have to respect it. It's part of the price, the sacrifice, the path. And if you keep walking, the pain will pass, but the rewards will remain. Your dream doesn't care how you feel in this moment. It's waiting for the version of you that refuses to give up, even when it hurts, even when you're tired, even when no one sees your struggle. Pain clouds your thinking. It makes you forget your progress. That's why you must protect your vision when things hurt. Focus not on how you feel now, but on who you're becoming through it. Sometimes the only way out is through. You can't shortcut pain. You can't skip the struggle, but you can outlast it. You can wear it down with your consistency, your courage, your quiet determination. Even in pain, you have power. You can still choose, still move forward, still get up. That power, even if it feels small, is the proof that pain doesn't own you. You do. There is no shame in hurting, but don't let the hurt define you. Let it refine you. Let it teach you something. Let it push you deeper into the mindset required to finish strong. Pain shows you what you value. If you didn't care, it wouldn't hurt. Let that pain remind you how much this dream matters. Use it. Convert it into drive. You are not the first to hurt on the path to greatness. Every champion bled. Every leader broke. Every builder doubted. But they didn't stop. And neither should you. Your dream deserves a stronger version of you. And pain is the process that builds that version. Not comfort, not ease, but fire. And you're walking through it for a reason. Don't confuse a hard season with a wrong path. Just because it hurts doesn't mean you're lost. Sometimes pain is proof you're in the right place, building something most people don't have the heart for. Hold the vision, even with trembling hands. Speak life, even when your voice shakes. Keep going, even if it's slow. Because this pain, it will pass. But your dream, if you protect it, will live forever. Sometimes pain just wants to see if you'll give up your vision for a little comfort. Don't trade your future for relief. That won't last. The pain fades, but quitting leaves a scar that never fully heals. Every time you keep going through pain, you prove to yourself that you're not controlled by feelings. You're led by commitment. That's a level of power that most people never reach. Pain isn't the problem. Quitting because of it is. You can hurt and still win. You can cry and still move forward. Let the pain come, but never let it take your dream with it. There are going to be moments when nothing makes sense, when you feel like all your effort is going nowhere. That's when you must remember, pain lies. It tells you to stop when you're just getting close. Let your pain turn into power. Let it shape your discipline. Let it deepen your gratitude, sharpen your focus, and harden your will. Pain doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're being forged. Don't wish the pain away. Wish for the strength to carry it. Wish for the wisdom to learn from it. Wish for the fire to rise with it. Because when pain meets purpose, something unstoppable is born. Every second you survive pain, you're building endurance. Every moment you refuse to quit, you're building grit. That resilience becomes the foundation for everything great you'll ever achieve. Your emotions may scream at you to quit, but your purpose should whisper louder. Keep going. You were not built for easy. You were built to grow through what you thought would break you. Pain often isolates you, but you're not alone. Every person chasing something bigger than themselves has walked through fire. Keep walking. You're in good company. There's a voice in you that pain tries to silence. The voice that says, "You were made for more." Strength is choosing to listen to that voice, even when everything hurts. You won't remember every painful detail, but you'll remember the moment you didn't quit. That memory will fuel you in future storms. It will become part of your story, a turning point, not a stopping point. Pain tests your why. If you're only in it for comfort, pain will push you out. But if you're in it for growth, pain will push you forward. Purpose is stronger than pressure. You can have pain and progress in the same moment. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's not working. Sometimes, the greatest transformation comes wrapped in the hardest struggle. Use the pain as fuel. Let it wake you up. Let it sharpen your mind and anchor your values. Don't run from it. Run with it, and watch how far it can take you when you refuse to bow down. There's a version of you on the other side of this pain, clearer, stronger, wiser. You just have to make it through. Your job right now is not to feel better, it's to keep moving. The mind will beg you to stop, but the dream, the real one, will beg you to endure. Listen to the voice that speaks to your future, not the one obsessed with your present discomfort. Every painful step forward is a message to the universe. I'm not giving up. And when you send that message enough, life begins to move with you, not against you. Your dream doesn't require a perfect version of you, just a persistent one. One that shows up when it's hard, one that fights back with belief, one that refuses to let the pain win. Pain can't stop someone who's fully committed. It may slow you, it may exhaust you, but it cannot defeat a mind made up. Decide today, no matter what, you will not fold. You are not defined by how you feel in your lowest moment. You're defined by what you do after that moment. Rise with the pain. Walk with it. Let it shape your character, not steal your calling. The longer you endure, the more pain loses its grip. It no longer becomes something to fear. It becomes something familiar. And what's familiar loses its power to control you. There's nothing wrong with pain. It means you're alive. You're in the fight. Just don't let it become your excuse to stop. Let it be your reason to become unshakable. Chapter 11. When it hurts, push harder. Pain is not the sign to stop. It's the signal to rise. When it hurts, your instincts say, slow down, but your destiny demands you dig deeper. Pain is the pressure that sharpens those willing to endure. The greatest breakthroughs are found on the other side of struggle. That extra rep, that final effort, that decision to push through discomfort. That's where growth hides, waiting for the brave. You already know how to keep going when it's easy. Now it's time to master how to keep going when it's not. That's where your real strength lives. In the push when quitting sounds reasonable. When it hurts, your comfort zone is cracking. That's a gift. That pain means the old you is being torn down, so the stronger you can take its place. Embrace that discomfort. It's the renovation of your mind. Push harder because pain is temporary, but regret is forever. A few more steps in the storm can change your whole direction. Don't stop in the middle of transformation. Finish what you started. Weak moments are when you train resilience. Every time you move forward despite the pain, you build grit. You're telling your body, your mind, your habits, I'm in control now. Your body may scream, your emotions may beg, but you have one job: finish the mission. Push harder not because it's easy, but because your vision is worth more than your comfort. When it hurts, remember why you began. Remember who you promised you'd become. Let that vision pull you through the pain. Let it remind you that pain is a path, not a prison. Anyone can work when it feels good. Few can grind when it burns. But those who push through pain separate themselves, not with talent, but with relentless will. It's easy to retreat when you're tired. But what if you leaned in instead? What if you turned the pain into fuel? Most won't, but you can. That's what makes you different. Push harder because your limits aren't real, they're learned. And pain is the place where you unlearn them. It's the test that exposes what you've been hiding from. Face it. Beat it. You don't become unbreakable by avoiding pressure. You become unbreakable by walking through it again and again until fear gets tired of chasing you. The harder it gets, the closer you are. Most people quit right before it changes. They confuse pressure with failure. But pressure is the evidence that you're about to level up. Pain makes the mind panic. That's why pushing harder is a mental decision, not a physical one. You choose to override doubt. You choose to stay locked in, and that choice becomes your power. Progress isn't always pretty. Sometimes it looks like sweat, pain, silence, and self-talk. But if you push harder in that chaos, you earn results that comfort can never deliver. Strength isn't built by stopping when you're tired. It's built by pushing once more, then again, then again. Each push rewrites your limits and teaches your mind to stop underestimating you. When you push through pain, you stop being average. You become rare, because most fold under pressure. But you rise. And that makes all the difference. Pain is loud, but your purpose must be louder. Push harder because the noise doesn't last, but the rewards of not quitting do. They show up in your results, your mindset, your legacy. There is strength in the second wind, the one you find after everything in you wants to quit. That's when you discover who you really are. That's when you earn the next version of yourself. Push harder not because you feel strong, but because you've decided not to be weak. That decision echoes in your actions, and over time, it transforms your identity. You've made it through pain before. This is no different. The struggle is just another stage in the process. And if you push now, you won't just survive, you'll dominate. When it hurts, keep moving. When you're tired, lean forward. When you're doubting, speak strength. And when it feels impossible, push harder, because that's where your greatness begins. The moment pain shows up, most people look for an exit, but winners see it as the entrance, the beginning of something greater. They know that to reach the next level, you must push past where it hurts. Pain is a signal, not a stop sign. It tells you where the old version of you ends and the stronger one begins. Most turn around there, but you're built to break through. You don't push harder because you're not hurting. You push harder because you've trained your mind to lead. And that kind of leadership doesn't fold under pressure. It rises inside the fire. What feels impossible right now will one day be your warm-up. If you keep pushing, don't let this moment fool you. Strength is on the other side of this temporary resistance. There's power in deciding that pain will not be the reason you quit, that even when it burns, you'll still build, that when it aches, you'll still rise. That's what mental toughness looks like. You can't grow in comfort. You grow in the push, the final reps, the long nights, the extra steps. That's where discipline is refined and grit is born, not in rest, but in resistance. Pain sharpens focus. It removes distractions and forces you to choose. Stay soft or fight back. Choose the fight. Choose the fire. And let it mold you into something untouchable. Most people stop when they're tired. But what if you flipped the script? What if being tired became your trigger to go harder, to dig deeper? That's how champions are made. Don't negotiate with pain. Don't argue with it. Don't wait for it to leave. Walk through it like it's part of the process. Because it is. You don't escape it. You outlast it. Every hard step you take while in pain becomes a building block, a piece of armor, a layer of strength. And one day, you'll look back and realize that's where your greatness came from. Pain won't wait for your permission. It shows up uninvited. But how you respond, that's always your choice. Choose to meet it with power. Choose to rise with your fist clenched and your purpose clear. The stronger you get, the more pain you can carry. Not because it disappears, but because you've become more. That's the gift of the push. It turns stress into strength. Endurance isn't about never feeling pain. It's about mastering your response to it. It's about standing tall when everything in you wants to fold. That's the difference between potential and power. Your future self is watching. And the only question is, will you quit when it gets hard? Or will you keep pushing because that's what greatness demands? Even your doubt is afraid of your discipline. When you push past pain, you silence the voice that says, you can't. Repetition destroys resistance. Keep proving that voice wrong. You don't need to sprint, just don't stop. Pain slows you down, but it doesn't have to shut you down. Progress made through pressure is still progress, and it's often the most powerful kind. There's a voice inside you that only shows up under pressure, the one that doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, doesn't fear. That voice gets louder every time you push past the point where you used to stop. You've survived worse. You've already made it through storms others never saw. This pain? It's just another test. Pass it by moving forward, even if it's slow, even if it's shaky. Sometimes the push is quiet. It's not loud or dramatic. It's getting up again, showing up again, believing again. That quiet effort over time becomes your loudest success. Don't expect the push to feel good. Expect it to work. Expect it to build you. Expect it to test you. And most of all, expect yourself to rise through it. There will come a time when what hurts now becomes your strength. You'll look back and thank the pain, not for what it did to you, but for what it built inside of you. So when it hurts, push harder. Not because you love the pain, but because you love the person you're becoming. That version of you is worth every step. Chapter 12. Keep going, even if no one believes in you. There will be days when no one claps, no one encourages, and no one sees your effort. Go anyway, believe anyway, because the absence of applause doesn't mean the mission is wrong. It means the path is yours alone. You won't always have support, but you'll always have a choice. When no one believes in you, you can either shrink to their expectations or rise to your own standard. Choose to rise. Some of your greatest victories will be built in silence, when no one understands, when everyone doubts, and when only you can see the vision. That's when belief matters most. You don't need them to see it. You don't need their validation. What you're building isn't up for debate. It's up to you. Trust your grind when no one else does. Many will doubt you simply because they can't imagine themselves doing what you're doing. Their disbelief is not a reflection of your ability. It's a reflection of their limits. Don't wait for permission to chase your dream. If you do, you'll wait forever. The people who built something great, they started without support. They started when it was lonely. Keep going because you said you would. Keep going because the fire in you is louder than the silence around you. If they don't believe in you, let that be fuel, not failure. Your dream isn't theirs to understand. It wasn't downloaded into their heart. It was planted in yours. That means the burden, the belief, and the breakthrough are also yours to carry. Silence can feel heavy when you're trying to build something, but it also gives you space to listen to your intuition, your conviction, your inner power. That voice matters more than all the noise. You're not behind. You're not wrong. You're just ahead of your time. And most people don't recognize value until it's finished. That's why you must finish, even if no one's watching. When no one believes in you, it's a test. Will you believe in yourself enough to keep showing up? If you do, that belief will grow so strong, you'll never need external validation again. Rejection hurts, but it teaches. Doubt stings, but it sharpens. Let every "you can't" become another reason you do. Let their silence become your motivation. Keep building when no one checks in. Keep improving when no one says, "well done." That kind of discipline becomes unshakable because it doesn't depend on external fuel to keep burning. The truth is, you're not building for them. You're building for the version of you that refused to quit. The one that wakes up early, works late, and believes when no one else will. If no one claps for you, clap for yourself. If no one encourages you, speak strength into your own soul. Become the believer you've been waiting for. There's nothing wrong with walking alone. In fact, some paths require solitude because they demand clarity, focus, and inner strength that can't be found in a crowd. When no one believes in you, it forces you to decide who you really are. Are you someone who stops without support? Or are you someone who becomes unstoppable regardless? Your consistency in silence will become your story in the spotlight. Keep going long enough, and they'll ask how you did it. And your answer will be simple: I didn't stop. Remember, their doubt is not your responsibility. Your commitment is. Keep your eyes on the work, on the vision, on the next right step. That's how legacies are built. You don't need many people. You just need one unshakable belief. Your own. When that belief takes root, it won't matter who doubts you, because you'll already be too far ahead to hear them. Every time you move forward without applause, you grow stronger. You build self-trust. You learn to lead yourself. That kind of strength doesn't fade. It multiplies. Keep going, not because they believe in you, but because you do. And that belief, when backed by discipline, will build a life no one can ignore forever. They won't see the work you're putting in. That's okay. You're not doing it for validation. You're doing it because it's part of who you are now. And that kind of commitment can't be shaken by silence. Sometimes, silence is protection. Without the noise of opinions, you have room to hear your own drive more clearly. Let solitude refine your focus. Let it teach you who you are without applause. You are not invisible, you're just in your building season. The world notices the results, not the grind. But without the grind, there would be no result. Stay faithful to your process. Not everyone is meant to believe in your journey. Some are meant to doubt it. So you'll grow stronger, proving yourself to yourself. That inner proof is more powerful than outer praise. Keep showing up, not for recognition, but for repetition. Repeating the work builds mastery. Repeating the belief builds identity. Soon, you'll be unshakable because you chose to believe when no one else did. Your silence doesn't mean you're behind. It means you're early. You're building before it's obvious. And when it becomes obvious, they'll call you lucky. But you'll know it was discipline, not luck. You have a choice. Let the doubt drain you, or let it drive you. Let it remind you that your dream is yours to fight for, not theirs to understand. Own it fully and fiercely. Even if you're the only one clapping, keep going. Self-respect grows in the silence. It grows when you honor your word to yourself, even if no one else knows or cares. The ones who change the world often start alone. They begin in basements, garages, notebooks, and quiet corners, not stages. What you're doing now matters, even if it feels small. Success doesn't always come with a cheering crowd. Sometimes it arrives silently, after years of being doubted, overlooked, and ignored. Stay in the game long enough to receive what's already yours. You can't expect people to understand a vision they've never seen. Most people live in fear, not because they don't want more, but because they've never seen more done by someone like them. Don't seek agreement. Seek alignment. Align with your values, your future, your purpose. If people don't believe in it, that's fine. What matters is that you refuse to doubt yourself. Belief is a habit, and habits are built through action. Keep taking steps, even small ones. Every action reinforces the message, I believe in where this is going. In time, those who didn't believe will ask how you did it. They'll ask for the blueprint. They'll say they always knew. But you'll know the truth. You kept going when no one believed but you. You don't need loud support. You need quiet discipline. The kind that keeps showing up even when it's hard. Even when you're tired. Even when you feel unseen. That's the discipline that wins. The more you rely on your own belief, the less you need external support. That independence becomes power. You're no longer waiting, you're building. Your progress may not look impressive to others right now, but that's because they can't see what's shifting inside you. Your mindset is evolving. And that's where real change begins. Your best work often comes when you feel most alone, because there's no pressure to perform, only purpose to pursue. Let that freedom carry you forward. The dream doesn't leave just because others do. Their absence doesn't cancel your potential. If anything, it gives you space to grow without limitation. You weren't meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be unstoppable, regardless. Keep going, not for their approval, but to become someone you're proud of. Every lonely day, every quiet win, every unnoticed hour, it all adds up. Keep stacking, keep building, because one day the world will see what only you saw from the beginning. And on that day, when everything you dreamed becomes real, you won't be bitter. You'll be grateful, because the struggle taught you to believe without proof, and that is a power no one can take away. Chapter 13. Doubt the doubts, not yourself. Doubt will always speak first, louder, sharper, and sooner than belief. But that doesn't mean it's right. Just because doubt shows up doesn't mean you have to follow it. Your doubt is not a reflection of your future. It's a test of your mindset. When doubt rises, it's your chance to lean into faith, not fear. Doubt is normal, but letting it lead is optional. You weren't born doubting yourself. That was learned. Through failure, criticism, comparison. Now it's time to unlearn it. to question the voice that questions you. Every time you let doubt make decisions, you hand over your power. You silence your confidence. But the moment you stop believing every negative thought, you take that power back. Doubt says, "What if you fail?" Belief answers, "What if I fly?" Your entire life shifts depending on which question you give your attention to. Choose belief, even if it's shaky at first. The voice of doubt is familiar, but that doesn't make it true. Familiar lies are still lies. Start asking your doubts to provide proof. Most of the time, they have none. When doubt enters your mind, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this fear or fact? Is this a warning or a habit? Clarity comes not from avoiding doubt, but from confronting it with truth. Doubt thrives in silence. Speak back to it, not with panic, but with purpose. Speak your wins. Speak your progress. Speak your vision out loud. Your voice weakens the voice of fear. You've made it through things doubt said would break you. That's proof. Every time you overcome fear, you collect evidence. Stack that evidence until it drowns out the lies. You don't need to eliminate doubt. You need to override it. Move anyway. Act anyway. Show up in spite of it. That kind of action retrains your mind to follow courage, not hesitation. Most of the things you feared never happened. Most of the doubts you've entertained never came true. That's not failure. That's feedback. Stop giving doubt more credit than it deserves. You are not the voice of doubt. You are the one who hears it and chooses what to do next. That separation gives you power. Observe it, but don't obey it. The mind will doubt what the soul already knows. That's why you need silence, stillness, a moment to remember who you are beneath the noise. Identity always outlasts insecurity. When you're growing, doubt grows too. That's the cost of expansion. But you get to decide which voice gets louder, the one pulling you back or the one pushing you forward. It's okay to feel uncertain. Just don't let that uncertainty become your compass. Feel it, acknowledge it, but lead with intention. Lead with values. Lead with the future in mind. Doubt doesn't mean stop. It means look deeper. Ask better questions. Refocus. Realign. Then keep going with more clarity and even stronger resolve. The fact that you doubt yourself proves you care. But care without confidence will keep you stuck. Balance your care with conviction. Know your value. Own your path. You've overcome so many doubts already, and you're still here. That should tell you something. You're stronger than the noise. You've always been stronger than the noise. Train your mind to treat doubt like static, background noise that doesn't deserve center stage. Your belief is the main character. Let it speak louder. Let it lead. You don't need to erase all doubt before starting. Just begin with belief stronger than the fear. Confidence grows in motion. Each small win makes the next step easier to take. The people who achieve great things aren't without doubt. They're just better at choosing action over hesitation. They doubt their limits more than they doubt their potential. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be faithful to the process, to your dream, and to your ability to grow. Doubt might knock, but belief opens the door. You don't conquer doubt by thinking, you conquer it by doing. Action is the antidote. Every time you take a step forward, you weaken doubt's grip. Let movement be your proof. When doubt whispers, remember, it speaks in the voice of your past. But you're not going that way. You're building something new, something your old mindset can't yet comprehend. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be persistent. Doubt hates persistence because it can't survive consistency. Keep showing up and watch it shrink. You don't need certainty to move. You need courage. You need to bet on yourself when it feels risky. Doubt feeds on hesitation. Starve it with boldness. The more you succeed, the more doubt will try to sneak back in. Not because you're weak, but because your next level requires a stronger belief system. Upgrade your thinking to match your growth. Most doubts come from a fear of judgment. But remember, no one else has to live with the results of your decisions. Only you do. So make decisions aligned with your vision, not their opinions. Doubt often shows up right before you level up. That's not a sign to stop. It's confirmation that you're stretching. New levels require new certainty, and doubt is the final test. When doubt says, "You're not ready," answer back, "Neither was anyone else at the start." Readiness is built by showing up, not waiting for the fear to fade. You've doubted yourself before and still won. Use that history. Let your past victories silence today's hesitation. You've already beaten doubt. You just need to remind yourself how. You'll always have reasons to stop, but you only need one reason to keep going. Let that one reason get louder than the noise. Let it echo in your mind until it becomes conviction. If you want to silence doubt, build momentum. Start with what you can control. Focus on the next 10 minutes. Doubt doesn't survive in the presence of focused effort. The longer you entertain doubt, the more it grows. Don't argue with it. Outrun it. Don't debate it. Outwork it. Replace mental loops with physical progress. Doubt wants you frozen, stuck in overthinking, caught in fear. But the moment you move, you prove it wrong. One action can break the entire loop. Some doubts aren't yours. They were given to you by people who stopped chasing their own dreams. Return them. They don't belong to you anymore. You don't owe your doubt anything. You don't have to explain your dream. You don't have to justify your vision. Your belief doesn't need approval. It needs action. The people who finish aren't the ones without fear. They're the ones who doubted their fear more than they doubted themselves. Adopt that mindset. Flip the script. When you feel doubt rising, ask, what would the strongest version of me do right now? Then do that. Let your future self lead your present self forward. Even if no one else believes in you, challenge the voice that says you can't. Speak truth, speak effort, speak goals into your day. That internal shift changes everything. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will come right after your biggest doubts. That moment you feel like quitting, it's often the final test before the door opens. You've outgrown who you used to be, so when doubt tries to pull you back, remind yourself, you're not that person anymore. You've evolved, and you're still rising. Make doubt uncomfortable. Prove it wrong every day. Build a life so consistent, so focused, that doubt eventually stops showing up, because it knows it's outmatched. When in doubt, move forward. When afraid, act anyway. When unsure, trust the work you've already done. The only way to fully defeat doubt is to become the person it said you'd never be. Chapter 14. The finish line is closer than you feel. You've come too far to turn back now. The doubts are loud, the pain is real, but you're closer than you think. Most people quit just before the breakthrough. Don't let that be your story. You're not stuck. You're simply tired. Tired doesn't mean done. Tired means you've been grinding. It means you've been moving. And that's the clearest sign that you're approaching the goal. Progress doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like frustration, like repetition. But beneath the surface, change is happening. You're building momentum even when it doesn't feel like it. When you can't see the finish line, Trust the map. Your effort is the map. Your habits are the map. Just because you don't see the win yet doesn't mean you're not right next to it. The breakthrough always feels the hardest right before it hits. Your body wants to quit. Your mind wants comfort. But your spirit knows you're almost there. Listen to that inner whisper. Keep your eyes forward. Not on how far you still have to go, but on how far you've already come. If you've survived the climb, you can finish the race. Your fatigue is not failure. It's proof that you've been fighting. You've invested too much to throw it away now. The reward is already forming on the other side of this final push. Don't let discouragement lie to you. Just because the pace is slow doesn't mean you're not moving. Every step still counts. Every day you show up adds weight to your win. When it gets quiet, don't assume you're off track. Sometimes silence means you're entering the deep work, the final stretch that requires focus, not applause. What you feel now is temporary, but what you're building, that's forever. Don't let temporary emotion undo permanent progress. You've been climbing the mountain, and the top is just beyond the fog. Don't stop here. Push once more. Often the view reveals itself only after the hardest steps. The finish line doesn't announce itself. It hides. It waits for the relentless, the consistent, the ones who push through without signs or signals. Be one of them. Sometimes the win isn't about speed. It's about stamina. Can you outlast your doubt? Can you outlast your fear? Because if you can, the finish line will reveal itself. Everything you've practiced, every late night, every lonely effort, it all led here. You're not failing. You're aligning. You're preparing for the moment everything clicks. You've already proven you can start. You've already proven you can endure. Now prove you can finish. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. That pressure you feel, it's the weight of a breakthrough forming. It's life testing your resolve. Don't collapse now. Rise. Push one more time with everything you've got. Even if you crawl across the finish line, it still counts. Progress doesn't always look powerful. But persistence? That's where the power lives. This season will make sense soon. Every moment you felt like giving up will be part of the victory story. Stay focused. The finish line is real, even if you can't see it yet. Don't sabotage the ending because of how you feel in the middle. The struggle is just a chapter, not the whole book. Your story ends in triumph if you keep turning the page. Hold on a little longer. Fight a little harder. You didn't come this far just to stop close. That's not who you are. You're a finisher. It's already in you. You'll thank yourself for not quitting. You'll look back at this moment, the one where you almost gave in, and you'll be proud, because you kept walking when it hurt most. You're not lost. You're in the final stretch. And the version of you that finishes this, that crosses the invisible line, will be stronger, clearer, and more unshakable than ever before. You're not the same person who started this journey. You've grown in silence, strengthened in the shadows. The finish line isn't just ahead. It's waiting for the stronger version of you to arrive. The closer you are to the win, the harder it gets. That's how you know you're near. Resistance increases at the edge of the breakthrough. Don't confuse difficulty with distance. The enemy of progress is not failure. It's fatigue without perspective. You're tired, not done. You're stretched, not broken. You're almost there. Keep walking. Don't let your emotions blur the truth. You are capable. You are ready. And you are standing inches from a door that only opens for those who refuse to stop knocking. You don't need more motivation. You need more remembering. Remember the reason. Remember the fire. Remember how far you've already come. That's the fuel for the final stretch. You've already paid the price in pain, in time, in effort. All that's left now is the final push. One more round, one more hour, one more level of belief. When it feels like nothing's working, that's when everything is being tested. Stay steady. Success is often hidden behind the final layer of resistance. The final steps always feel heavier. That's because they carry everything. Your hope, your effort, your whole journey. But those steps matter most. They turn trying into triumph. People quit in the middle because they can't see the end. But the ones who make it, they don't need to see it. They just need to trust it's there and keep stepping toward it. Rest if you must, but don't disconnect from the vision. Catch your breath, reset your focus. Then lean back into the process with new force. What you're facing now is the tension before the transformation. Hold the pressure. It's shaping you into someone who can handle what you've been asking for. You're not far. You're just unfamiliar with this territory. It's new. It's stretching you. But that's the nature of breakthrough zones. They feel like confusion right before clarity. You can't quit now, not because of the pain, but because of the promise. The promise that your hard work leads somewhere. That everything you've done was for something. Even when it's hard to believe, act like it's true. Walk like you're winning. Think like you're close. Speak like it's coming. Because your energy shapes your endurance. Nothing is wasted. Not the tears, not the setbacks, not the long nights. It's all data, all growth, all part of a story that leads to one sentence. You've finished. You're building stamina now, not just for this win, but for the next level. The strength you gain by finishing here becomes your foundation for the future. When doubt screams, whisper back, "I'm almost there." Say it again and again, until the echo drowns out the fear and all that's left is movement. There are people watching who don't believe you can make it. Let them. You're not here for their validation. You're here to cross a line they can't see and prove it to yourself. This isn't just about success. It's about identity. Every step you take now is building a story. One where the main character never gave up, even when no one would have blamed them. The finish line isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It rewards those who trusted the journey, those who kept walking when the road vanished. You're one of those few. It's okay if it's taking longer than you thought. It's okay if the route changed. Just don't turn back. The distance behind you is greater than the distance left ahead. This is where legacies are made, not at the start, not at the end, but in the decision to continue when everything in you screams to stop. And today, you chose to continue. Chapter 15. Keep moving. Future. You is counting on it. Every decision you make today is shaping who you'll become tomorrow. Your future self is waiting, stronger, wiser, more fulfilled, but only if you keep moving. The dream you have isn't just a desire. It's a message from your future self, a reminder that you were made for more. Don't ignore that signal. Walk toward it every day. The version of you 5 years from now is being built in this moment. With every step forward, you're laying bricks. With every excuse resisted, you're forming discipline. Even when progress feels slow, it matters. Tiny steps forward compound. Momentum isn't about speed, it's about consistency. Keep moving. Keep showing up. There's a version of you out there who doesn't doubt, doesn't hesitate, and doesn't shrink. That version is built by the one who refuses to stop when things get hard. Every time you push through, you send a message into your future. I'm coming for what's mine. That signal travels far. and your future self is watching, waiting for you to arrive. Keep moving, not because today feels easy, but because tomorrow depends on it. You're not just working for now, you're investing in what you're becoming. When you want to quit, think about what quitting would cost. Think about the opportunities, the strength, the freedom you're building. Your future doesn't need excuses. It needs action. You've overcome too much to go back. The pain wasn't for nothing. The lessons weren't random. They were preparation for the person your future needs you to be. Your future self is counting on your focus today, on your courage, on your refusal to settle. That version of you doesn't appear by chance. It's built through daily movement. You're not just escaping the past, you're designing the future. Each choice becomes architecture. Each habit becomes structure. And the more you move, the more it takes shape. The worst thing you could do is stay still. Growth only happens through movement, physical, mental, emotional. Keep shifting, keep evolving, keep becoming. The temptation to stop is loud, but your reasons to continue are louder if you listen. Listen to the hunger, to the vision, to the fire that still flickers when things get dark. One day you'll thank yourself for not quitting. You'll look back at this chapter, the hard one, and realize it was the bridge between who you were and who you were meant to be. You don't need to know the whole path, just the next step. Your future isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in quiet, faithful forward motion when no one is watching. Movement brings clarity. It wakes you up. Even if you're unsure, moving forward reveals answers. Stillness may feel safe, but it rarely changes anything. It's not about being perfect. It's about being committed. Committed to showing up, to trying again, to building your future even when today is heavy. There's momentum waiting behind every hard day. Once you take the first step, the energy shifts. That's how the future gets built, one moment of courage at a time. Your habits today shape your freedom tomorrow. Your mindset today shapes your strength tomorrow. The more intentional you are now, the more powerful your future becomes. Don't stall your growth trying to stay comfortable. Comfort never built anything worth living for. Your future self will thank you for every time you chose discipline instead. You have no idea how close you are to the life you want. Keep moving, keep trusting. Even on quiet days, you're getting closer. Even on hard days, you're still aligned. The life you dream of isn't waiting for a perfect version of you. It's waiting for the one who refuses to give up. Be that person every single day. There's a future version of you living in peace because you chose not to give up today. That version is counting on your strength, your resilience, and your forward motion right now. Every disciplined action you take today makes life easier for the version of you tomorrow. Success isn't built in the future. It's created by how you show up now. The work you're doing now might feel invisible, but it's not meaningless. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent effort stacking up until one day it becomes undeniable. Keep moving, because momentum is your greatest ally. Once you're in motion, life begins to respond. Energy multiplies, confidence returns. Doubt fades with every step forward. Even if you're crawling, you're still advancing. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel confident. Move anyway. And let your effort create the mindset you're missing. Your future doesn't need someone who overthinks. It needs someone who moves, someone who acts, someone who trusts that small steps matter, even when no one else understands the path. What you do today isn't just about you. It's about everyone your future self will inspire. Your family, your community, your legacy. They're all waiting on you to keep going. Your future self doesn't want perfection, just your consistency, your honesty, your hunger to rise again when it would be easier to stay down. That's how greatness is built. Keep moving even when the road looks the same. Progress often feels repetitive, but underneath, you're stacking power, building habits, becoming unrecognizable to your old self. When you stand in the future and look back, you won't remember every mistake. You'll remember the moments you didn't give up, the choices that made everything possible. You are becoming the kind of person you used to admire, not through luck, but through grit. Keep moving like that person is real, because they are. They're already inside you. There is no perfect moment to move. Life won't pause. Time won't wait. But every day you move with intention, you earn ground. And one day, you'll be standing exactly where you dreamed. If you stop now, you'll never know who you could have become. Don't rob yourself of that discovery. The version of you that's thriving is just beyond the version of you that's tired. Everything in your future depends on your current momentum. Let today be the day you refuse to stall. Even a small move forward is a vote for the life you're building. The cost of progress is always discomfort, but the reward, peace, purpose, and pride that no one can take from you. Your future self will be living that reward because you earned it. Sometimes your future self isn't far away. Sometimes it's just one hard decision ahead, one day of discipline, one choice to move instead of hesitate. That's all it takes to change direction. Every future breakthrough starts with present obedience. Obedience to the mission, to the vision, to the version of you that's trying to break free. Set them loose by moving. You're not running from your past. You're walking into your power, step by step, choice by choice. Each forward move is a declaration. I am becoming. The clock is moving whether you move or not. But only one choice brings change. Keep moving. Keep proving to yourself that you will not fold when things slow down. In the future, your past won't be defined by failure. It will be defined by persistence. That's the part you control, and that's the part your future self will be most proud of. The only thing standing between you and that dream is time and movement. Keep moving through both. You are building a future that your past self would have prayed for. There's more inside you than you've allowed the world to see, and every step forward reveals a new layer. Keep peeling it back. Keep evolving. Your future is ready, but it needs you to keep walking. There will be days when progress feels invisible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. The seeds you plant through movement take time to grow. Keep watering them with effort. Your future self isn't hoping you'll be fearless. They're hoping you'll stay committed. Fear fades. But the results of your effort? They echo for years. Stay in motion. The discipline you apply today becomes the freedom you feel tomorrow. Every early morning, every focused hour, every step you refuse to skip. It all pays off in the life you're shaping. Momentum isn't built by massive leaps. It's built by refusing to stop. Keep stacking wins, no matter how small. Those quiet victories turn into unstoppable force. You may not feel ready. That's fine. Movement doesn't require readiness. It only requires willingness. Take one more step. Keep the promise. The rest will meet you there. One day, the habits that feel difficult now will be second nature. They'll carry you when motivation disappears. That's why you must build while it's hard, so it becomes easy later. You're not doing this just to survive. You're doing it to thrive. Every time you move forward, you're stepping out of limitation and into possibility. Don't confuse pause with peace. Stillness without purpose becomes regret. But movement with vision creates progress, even on the most uncertain days. The more you move, the more clear the path becomes. You don't have to see the full picture to know you're in alignment. Just trust what forward feels like. Movement is your vote for belief. Even when no one else sees the goal, every step says, "I'm not done yet." That repetition writes belief into your bones. There's no secret shortcut. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is action, not once, but daily, relentlessly, quietly, and eventually, visibly. If the process feels slow, good. That means it's real. That means it's building roots. Let your success take time. It will be stronger because you didn't rush it. Don't get stuck thinking you need to do it all today. You don't. You just need to move. 1 inch, 1 task, 1 choice. Progress isn't perfection. It's movement. When you move despite fear, you're training your brain to trust you. That self-trust becomes the anchor that holds strong when everything else feels uncertain. You are not lost. You're leveling up. Growth feels unfamiliar. It feels hard. But you'll look back and realize this was the stretch that shifted everything. When you move with intention, you attract what aligns with you. Energy shifts. People shift. Doors open. But it all starts with your choice to act, not wait. The work you're doing today may not be glamorous, but it's necessary. It's foundational. And one day, that foundation will hold a future far greater than you imagined. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your output. Keep pouring in the effort. The future responds to those who stay consistent in the unseen. What you're doing now is bigger than just hitting goals. You're building identity. You're becoming the kind of person who moves forward no matter what. That changes everything. You don't have to feel powerful to be powerful. Movement alone is proof. Each step declares, "I'm still in this." And that kind of persistence creates momentum others can't fake. Your future self is counting on you to not give up in this exact moment. This one right here, where it would be easier to stop. Push through. Future you is waiting on the other side. The finish line is built from every step you're taking today. Keep moving, even if no one notices. One day they will, but more importantly, one day you will. You've already broken through so many old patterns. Each step forward now is less about escape and more about expansion. You're not running anymore, you're rising. Keep moving, not just for the future, but to prove something to the present, that you are no longer the person who settles, waits, or lets fear drive decisions. Your pace doesn't have to match anyone else's. Some will sprint, others will stall. But if you just keep moving, on your terms, in your rhythm, you will get there. You're building more than momentum. You're building evidence, the kind that tells your mind, "I don't give up anymore." That evidence becomes belief, and belief becomes power. There are quiet wins happening behind the scenes of your life. They're easy to miss, but they matter. The days you didn't quit, the hours you focused, they all count. Don't chase motivation, chase responsibility. Your future self is depending on your discipline, not your mood. That responsibility is what separates dreamers from doers. Movement reminds the world that you're still here, still working, still climbing, even when unseen, even when misunderstood. Keep walking like your future is watching, because it is. There's no shame in struggle, but there is strength in persistence. Struggle means you're still in the game, still showing up, still swinging. That alone makes you dangerous. Even if you've slowed down, even if you've stumbled, don't stop. Reset your posture, reclaim your focus, get back into motion. There's still time to finish strong. The next version of you isn't waiting at the finish line, it's revealed along the way. In the sweat, in the grind, in the ordinary days where you chose to keep going. No one sees how hard it is behind the scenes. That's okay. The process doesn't need an audience, just your attention. And every bit you give it, gives back. There's freedom on the other side of repetition. At first it's hard, then it's habit, then it's who you are. Keep moving long enough and the work becomes part of you. Progress happens slowly, then suddenly. You never know which step will be the breakthrough. That's why you must take them all, especially the ones you don't feel like taking. The longer you stay in motion, the harder it is for fear to catch up. Action creates a rhythm, and in that rhythm, hesitation fades. Doubt gets drowned out by momentum. The best gift you can give your future self is a mindset that doesn't fold. Keep building it now, through repetition, through resistance, through resolve. Your future won't just reflect your goals, it will reflect your grind. Keep working like your name depends on it, because it does. Reputation is built in silence. The most dangerous belief is thinking you have time to wait. You don't. Time is moving, and so must you. Even small movement is a declaration that you're serious about the life you want. You don't have to fix everything today. Just don't stop. Keep learning. Keep adjusting. Keep going. One step at a time is still progress, and progress compounds fast. The breakthrough is never the result of one big effort. It's the reward for 100 small ones. Keep stacking those reps. One more choice, one more win. You are not where you used to be, and you're not done yet. That space in between, that's where most people quit. But you're not most people. You're a finisher. Keep moving because there's someone watching you. Not a critic, someone who's learning from your example. You're not just building your life, you're inspiring theirs. And when you finally get there, when you arrive at the place you've been fighting for, you'll know. It wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. It was motion. It was you. You didn't start this journey for temporary motivation. You started it to change everything. Let that reason carry you. Let it fuel the days where energy feels low, but purpose still burns. The finish line isn't a place. It's a state of becoming. You don't just cross it once. You live there daily by choosing growth, choosing strength, and choosing to keep moving. Even when the world is silent, your footsteps echo. Every step forward, no matter how small, sends a message. I'm not done yet. That message shapes your future. There's no secret formula, no shortcut, just persistence. Just waking up and doing what needs to be done. That level of consistency becomes a superpower in a world addicted to shortcuts. When you move with purpose, you unlock clarity. The fog begins to clear. Your mind sharpens. Your energy shifts. Movement changes everything, not all at once, but exactly when it should. The obstacles aren't meant to stop you. They're meant to shape you, to make sure you're strong enough to carry what's coming. Keep going. You're not just enduring, you're evolving. You're not just building a goal, you're building someone who follows through. That person will be trusted. That person will be respected. Most of all, that person will trust themselves. Nothing great is born from hesitation. The life you want is hiding behind the motion you avoid. Start small, start slow, but start. Let action crush anxiety. Your dreams don't need defense, they need dedication. The more you move, the less you'll feel like explaining. Results will do the talking. You just need to do the walking. If you stop now, you'll only confirm your doubts. But if you keep going, you'll prove them wrong. And over time, your belief will be so strong, doubt won't even bother knocking. Some days will test everything in you, but those days are the forge. Keep going, and you'll come out different, not just stronger, but unbreakable. Your future self has clarity, peace, confidence, and power, but all of that starts with discipline today. The price feels high now, but the reward lasts forever. You're not chasing a dream, you're claiming your identity. You're becoming someone who follows through, someone who moves when it matters, someone future you will thank. Each hour of work, each moment of doubt that you move through is a deposit, and one day soon, the compound interest will show. The life you wanted will be your new normal. You're building more than success. You're building credibility with yourself. That's the foundation of power, knowing you do what you say. That kind of trust can't be shaken. There's no need to rush, just don't retreat. No matter how slow the pace, progress is progress. You weren't built to be perfect. You were built to be persistent. Fear loses power the moment you step toward it. Keep moving into the things that scare you. That's how confidence grows. That's how the old you dies and the real you shows up. The future doesn't respond to your feelings. It responds to your footsteps. Keep walking. Through uncertainty, through failure, through fear. Keep going until arrival becomes reality. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Everything you've learned, fought for, and failed at has brought you to this moment. Use it. Build from it. Sometimes growth feels like loss, of comfort, of ease, of the old version of you. But what you're gaining is far greater. Keep moving. You're stepping into power, not pain. No one regrets the work they put in. They only regret the chances they didn't take. Don't let comfort cost you your calling. Keep walking. You're getting closer. Every step you take today is one the old you would have avoided. That alone means you're winning. Keep moving with that mindset. You're already transforming. You've just unlocked the truth that many ignore. Mastering your mind is the first step to mastering your life. The world will test you. Distractions will tempt you. Doubt will knock often. But now you know, your thoughts shape your path. Your discipline sharpens your edge. And your focus makes you unstoppable. Keep training your mind. Keep protecting your peace. Keep showing up no matter what. Because the strongest force in your life is you.